Welcome to OOO, an out of ordinary podcast where we dig deep into case studies and the nitty gritty of Web3 marketing. You'll find here all the amazing people that are building Web3, so stick to us as we address their marketing secrets and learn how to build amazing products and brands. Hello everyone, I'm Alex, your fellow Web3 marketer and the host of Out of Ordinary podcast. This is episode 55. I'm on a mission to make this podcast your go-to place when it comes to answering anything Web3 marketing related. But before I introduce you to my guest, I want to let you know that this podcast will be minted and you can collect it. Why should you collect this episode, you'd ask? Cookie3 will reward you with points that will be transformed into Cookie token. How fun is that? Besides this, you can always support the show both on Patreon and Unisub with donations in fiat or crypto. And if you can't donate, that's totally fine. Send this episode to a friend, leave a 5-star review, or post about it on social media. Every action matters. Now, let me introduce you to my guest. Krystyna leads Cookie3 Communications, marketing, and community, where she develops unique strategies to transform marketing in the Web3 space and opens doors for everyone to participate in the MarketingFi economy. Drawing from her extensive experience as a communications and marketing expert, she excels in reaching diverse audiences and creating impactful campaigns. She's also a published scholar. Her single-author research paper called Algorithmic Governance, Code as Law, and the Blockchain Common Power Relations in a Blockchain-Based Society was published in the Frontiers magazine. When she's not immersed in the world of Web3, you'll find Krystyna shooting arrows off the back of her horses. Hi, Krystyna. How are you?
Hi, Alex. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And what is it, like 3 months after you just had Cookie3 CEO Philip?
Exactly. So I think it's a very good time for redemption, especially because right after I spoke to Philip, I think there were so many changes going on, and I was thinking I'm putting so much effort into these episodes, and then I'm realizing that there's so many things that have changed, and now I'm really happy that we get to redo this episode. And to kind of kick off, would you like to tell us a bit about yourself and how you got into Web3?
Yes, naturally. So I've been in Web3 for about 5 or 6 years right now. I've been in marketing and PR longer than in Web3 because actually my background is in luxury fashion, PR and marketing. So I used to be the fashion girl, and then I got really interested in blockchain. I did a master's in digital sociology. I wrote a scientific article which got published about blockchain governance, and then in between this journey, I started working in Web3, and I decided I've already have 3 years of marketing and PR experience. Why not utilize it in Web3? Then I realized marketing in Web3 is completely different. There was heaps of stuff to learn, but also leaning back on my expertise from fashion, it was quite easy. So I mostly worked in agencies before, and then some time ago, I became the CMO of Cookie3. And as you said, a lot has happened since then. The past 3 months since you spoke with Philip have been crazy. We did a whole rebranding. We released another new platform. We released an addition to our analytics platform. And then we have a couple of platforms in the pipeline that I'm really excited to speak to you about.
So as you were mentioning, initially when we first met, you guys were launching your beta for analytics. It seems like it's been so long since then, but it's only been 3 months. What happened ever since? What kind of products have you launched? Tell me more about it.
Yes, so the analytics beta is actually working perfectly well. We've got over 250 dApps using our analytics, which 3 months ago, we were just launching the beta, and then the growth was instant, which we thought this is a good way to go. And we already at that time were in discussions with the Cookie DAO, which is our partner who wanted to release the Cookie token that's going to have utility within our ecosystem. So we were already building an ecosystem of 3 platforms. And these are the analytics, which your listeners hopefully know, which is a B2B product for businesses and Web3 marketers who can just come in, they can plug in their site, and it's basically Google Analytics, but for Web3. So you can see all of the analytics you see in Google. You can see off-chain conversions, where users are coming from, your website visit, the very standard Web2 stuff. But what Google doesn't do is the on-chain conversion. So in Google, you can see who's got the MetaMask connected and if they're connecting their wallet, but the analytics stops there. With us, we can actually see and tell the marketers what the users are doing on-chain, what volume are they trading, what volume are they bringing, are they holding any other tokens? Perhaps it's a possibility to do co-marketing. So let's say if I see my users are holding a certain NFT, I go to that NFT project and I'm like, look, I've got the data here. Let's go do something together. Then on top of the analytics, we also added a project called Airdrop Shield, which is also a project for businesses. And we've done a research which showed that when projects do airdrops, about 70% of this airdrop actually gets distributed to bots or to civil attackers. Like, I'm a Web3 marketer. I don't want my tokens going to these users. Like, there is no way they're going to convert. As soon as the airdrop happens, they're going to sell them, which for me actually leaves my valuable users, people who are trading on the platform, people who maybe participated in an IDO, people who are also buying the token and are participating in an airdrop as an extra, they actually lose because they have high selling pressure. They've done all the work for the airdrop and then they're losing to bots or Sybil attackers. So the Cookie3 Airdrop Shield is, in my opinion, amazing tool. Like when my product team came and they said like we've developed this, I was like, wow, guys, like this is going to revolutionize the way we do airdrops. Because basically we employed AI and we trained it on over 15 behavioral and characteristics and we still keep training it. So it doesn't tell you like, these are bots exactly. It scores the users. It says these users are likely to be bots or these users are likely to be Sybil attackers. Or look, this is the same user coming from the same IP address, or the actions of this user indicate that they're a bot. These 5 wallets are probably the wallets of one user. And then you as a project, you as a marketer, you can make a decision. Do I want to allow them into the airdrop or do I want to exclude them? So it's not one way or the other. AI helps you score these users and then you make a decision of, how much wiggle room you want to allow, because maybe 2 wallets per user isn't that bad after all. So that's the business part. And then this is something that already Philip probably has told you about. But then we open the whole entire ecosystem, first of all, for KOLs, and second of all, for users. So our KOL platform is in its alpha stage. It's called Cookie3 Affiliate. And in a very short time period, because a month since launch, we onboarded over 17,000 Web3 KOLs with an aggregated following of 400 million today, which to me is crazy. Such a big reach. And then this platform is doing 2 things. So first thing this platform is doing, it's helping run affiliate campaigns. So this platform can run because of the analytics platform that we already have that's already running our AI data layer algorithm, because basically we take the analytics part and add it to KOL's campaigns. So one thing as a marketer that you can do, you come to the Cookie3 analytics platform and you say, I want to run a campaign with KOLs. I want to work with KOLs. These KOLs are already in the platform, which is the phase 1 that we completed now. You set a campaign, you set conversion events. You say, okay, I want this referral campaign. KOLs are going to be taking the link, sharing it to refer it, but I want make sure these users convert. I want to make sure that I only reward KOLs if they bring users who not only connect the wallet. I want to bring users who actually, play my game for 1 hour, trade this volume, buy my NFT. And then because we've got this entire analytics backend, we're able to say these users did it. And based on this, pay out the reward for the KOL. Because right now, working with KOLs is very much a numbers game. You see a KOL that's got millions of followers, you give them, they have a big retainer. You pay them a lot for the campaign and you pay less to smaller KOLs. But actually, you're not able to tell right now. In my opinion, smaller KOLs often bring larger conversion because they have a very tight-knit circle of people who follow them. Obviously, large KOLs are also important. They also convert, but it's a different way of working with KOLs. Cookie3 Affiliate allows you to work with KOLs in the way that you are paying for conversion, you're paying for users, so actually using your marketing budgets way more effectively and efficiently. Then I can tease, and this is very alpha information, we will be adding another element to our Cookie3 Affiliate very, very soon. So I think it's not a mystery that in Web3, projects that are about to launch token often onboard KOLs as strategic advisors or investors. And these KOLs help promote the project sort of in return for the investment that they made. But right now, this is a fairly new practice, so there aren't any tools to manage it. And it's incredibly tough. I spoke with some KOL managers of projects, and it's endless Telegrams group. Each of these KOLs need to do KYC. They each need to sign an agreement, etc. And it's a lot to manage. What Cookie3 Affiliate will be doing, it will be helping onboard these KOLs in one go because they will be already there. So the project will be able, sort of like Tinder for KOL rounds, I'd say. You swipe left, you swipe right, you match with the KOLs, you onboard them on the round. But then an extra thing we're doing in a partnership with Cookie DAO, it's because the cookie token, which is sort of ingrained into our technical setup to create one cookie ecosystem. So basically, whenever we are working with a project that's onboarding KOLs on their round, there is a part of their tokens that is being sort of like a service fee. Like every KOL manager works on a service fee, so the same comes here. But instead of us taking the service fee, we take their tokens as a service fee, and it's airdropped to the cookie token stakers because it's part of the partnership with the Cookie DAO and the agreement that we have with them. So sort of it's the first really way for retail users who are stakers of the token to get exposure to private rounds in the form of tokens. So it's like an extra thing we're adding for the retail community. And also these are likely the people who are going to engage. So for these projects, it's extra exposure, extra opportunity to advertise themselves. And then, I'm sorry, this is so long because this new ecosystem is so big. Then we've got the third product, which is the retail product, which is the user-facing product. But again, similarly as with like analytics and affiliate, it's built for projects, for marketers, but then the end user, rather than being the KOLs, are the Web3 retail users. So this sort of connects to what I said at the beginning about, airdrops being ineffective. So in my opinion, a big problem with Web3 marketing right now is we are very much touching the surface. We're touching the attraction stage, but very little is done in sort of like conversion stage. Right now, we've got all these quests like Galaxy or Zeely. But what next? What about conversion? Like, we are all working for vanity metrics, which I'm not saying are not important, because they are very important, especially when you're discussing partnerships and etc. You want to have a big audience, but then what happens after? Like, you need a community that's engaged, and you want to reward the community that's engaged. You don't want to reward the community that you launch a token and it's just going to be gone in a matter of hours. So actually, the Cookie3 score is a tool for this. So users will be encouraged to sign up for the platform with their wallet. And again, we use our analytics backdrop, which is on-chain analytics. Are they staking tokens? Are they buying tokens? Are they selling tokens as soon as they're airdropped? Then they also connect their Twitter on the platform. So are they following any KOLs? Are they followed by KOLs? Are they having quality organic Twitter interactions and impressions? All of this comes into your, let's say, Web3 score, and also what projects you interact with. And then you, as a business, as a marketer, you'd be like, I want exposure to users who are likely going to convert. I've got, let's say, this big airdrop coming. I want to give it to gamers, or I want to give it to NFT collectors. So they see my projects, they get this airdrop, and they explore my projects and are likely to convert, more likely than people who are just airdrop hunters. Because we've scored these users and these users says, yes, I'm excited about exploring new projects, bring them to me. We say, these are users with the score over this, this, and this. These are likely the users who will convert. We can do an airdrop for them. We can send them an exclusive invitation to your event. We can run an exclusive campaign for them. You can reward them and incentivize them to onboard onto your project. And then similarly, as with the Cookie3 affiliate, the partnership with the Cookie DAO kicks in, and the service fee is taken in the airdrop tokens or rewards and then gets airdropped to the cookie stakers. And I don't know if I said the same words for the airdrop shield. So the part of the saved airdrop, some of it is directed back to the people who took part in the airdrop, but some of it is taken as a service fee and dropped back to the cookie stakers because of the Cookie DAO partnership that we've got. I hope that covers the question of the 3-platform ecosystem and how it works together.
I think it's very important for a lot of people to understand better like what Cookie3 does, because I got a lot of questions about like, oh, what are they doing this or what are they doing that? So I think like right now, hopefully we managed to cover and explain to everybody what you guys do. Very interesting question I have for you there. Like, can anybody sign up as a KOL? I do have a bunch of them in my network as well, so I want to make sure that I'm replying this question. Like a lot of like micro influencers, let's say, or like their KOLs in their own small communities that they are.
Definitely. So if you head to cookie3.affiliate, that's the platform for you. Actually, we are very soon to closing the alpha onboarding phase. You will still be able to onboard later on, but right now, as an incentive, you're able to become eligible for the cookie token airdrop and cookie token allocation when you join the platform. So if you haven't already, I really recommend you join now, because you're able to get like, an extra reward for being early. Being early is always good in Web3.
I do have another question for you, which we actually got from the audience, and I think it kind of ties well with what you were just saying. The question is which part of the site has the most cookie airdrop point scores, Discord roles, social farming? And my extra question is like, what can you do with these tokens, except for trading them, of course?
Okay, so I think the question the community member asked is relating not to one of our platforms actually, but for the Cookie DAO platform, Cookie.community. This is where the Cookie DAO, our partner, is conducting their airdrop. And they are actually using our tech and our analytics to make sure to reward the most quality audience. So I know this question is sort of, I'd say, in the old way of thinking about Web3 rewards and airdrops, because it's which part of the campaign brings me the most points. And it's not really about that, because it's not really about choosing, oh, this part gets me this many points, this part gets me this many points. And this airdrop is constructed by us, by Cookie3, so that Cookie DAO gives the airdrop to users who are actually quality users. That's why we're not saying, this brings you the most points, because the most points and the biggest opportunity of getting airdrop is actually being a quality user and being excited. Like, it's built in a way that you can't cheat it, basically. So just engage organically, because I am all for organic engagement. Vanity, as I said, vanity metrics are important, but at the end, it's organic users who convert that are actually bringing value to the project. And then on to the second part of your question, Alex, which was about the utility of the token. So the token, like I said, is issued by the Cookie DAO, and it's our partnership for the cookie ecosystem. And the cookie token has its own native utilities, which is the governance utility, so governance in the Cookie DAO. And then it's staking utility also provided by the Cookie DAO. And then because of the partnership, the token gets extra utility within the cookie ecosystem. So it plugs into the Cookie3 technology. And as I said, as you stake it, one utility is, and the main utility is basically rewards and airdrops from all of the 3 platforms. So whether it's tokens saved from the airdrop shield, whether it's tokens and fees from the KOL campaigns and private rounds, or whether it's a part of rewards that projects are distributing to the score, always part of it goes to the staker. So the way I like to think about this is, if you stake the cookie token, you don't really have to decide like, oh, next altcoin season, like what's the next thing, what airdrop I should go to, what should I buy? Because a lot of these projects will be using Cookie3 to run campaigns, I hope. But we already have a lot of projects in the pipeline interesting. So I sort of know, but I can't say anything yet about whose it's going to be. So it's like, if you hold Cookie and you stake Cookie, you get exposure to all of these projects coming through the Cookie3 ecosystem, which is why we enter in this partnership with CookieDAO. So CookieDAO basically emerged from our community, and our community was like, we want more, we want exposure to it. It's great you've got analytics, it's great you've got all these tools for marketers, but we want to be a part of it. So the CookieDAO emerged, and then they said, look, we've been your community, we have a DAO now, we want to have a token, why not to join forces? And you've got amazing tech, we've got the power to run the token, let's join forces, let's have the cookie ecosystem, let's work together on making it MarketingFi, basically.
All right, let's take a quick break and introduce you to a game changer in the lead generation arena, Dealfront. Now, we all know the struggle of identifying those elusive websites visitors and turning them into valuable leads. But what if I told you there's a tool that not only promises but delivers on supercharging your lead generation and sales efforts? Imagine having the power to identify companies visiting your website, track their behavior in real time, and seamlessly integrate it all with your CRM. Dealfront is not just a tool, it's your secret weapon for efficient and targeted lead engagement. So what sets it apart? Its revenue engine is fueled by live European data in multiple languages, providing you with insights and access that other tools simply can't match. No more struggling to find the right decision makers. With Dealfront, it's as easy as a few clicks. Here's the magic. With Dealfront, you can harness 3 layers of data: market signals, web visitors, and EU company databases. And there's no need to worry about compliance. Dealfront meets Europe's strict standards, ensuring GDPR compliance competitors simply can't match. Ready to revolutionize your approach to leads and deals? Grab your free demo today at dealfront.com. That's DEALFRONT.com. Don't miss out on the future of successful deal making with Dealfront. Yeah, it does make a lot of sense. I was asking mostly because, like, from what I've seen on your website, you can, like, once you sign up, you can do like several tasks and you can like earn some points, which I'm guessing they will be translated into tokens. So my guess was that initially that was what the question was about, but I think you kind of covered it, and I'm hoping that the person that asked the question has their answer right now. Something else I wanted to ask in regards to this, to what you guys are doing right now. I know you recently did a rebranding, which I know probably incorporated more of what you're doing right now. Can you tell us why did you do it? Which I think was very important. A lot of people ask me to ask you, and why was it necessary? And how do you respond to the criticism that the brand color looked very similar to another project? Hope I'm not putting you on the spot right now, but I think it would be very interesting to see what you have to say here. And basically, how does this new rebranding encompasses the new direction of Cookie3?
Naturally, you're not putting me on the spot at all. Like, our rebranding was a well thought through decision. I think we had a team of 10, 15 people working on the new brand. So big team, a lot of meetings, a lot of effort, a lot of brainstorming. All decisions were very, very, very carefully made and thought through. Which it wasn't the first rebranding I've done as a marketer, but I think this one was like one of the most thought through, discussed and debated ones that I've ever took part in. So like you said, the reason why we did rebranding was prompted mostly by this, shift to be a MarketingFi ecosystem, shift to come into a partnership with CookieDAO. We sort of wanted to have something joint. So our analytics app still has the old same branding. If you're a marketer using the app, you go into app.cookie3.com. The branding is the same. We might update it to the new branding later on, But for now, that's a working project that companies know, that companies use, that marketers love. We didn't want to make a lot of changes there. So most changes went to the main side of Cookie3. And we chose this pixelated style, which first of all, we kind of felt it fits into the current trends into the industry, which may be why some people are saying that we copied it, but then we really didn't. We did our research, and then pixels are one part. If you look at a lot of brands, there is a lot of this sort of feeling right now, which is the industry standard, but then we add the shapes, we add the 3D elements, we add the mascots. So I feel there is a lot of things. Me as a marketer, when I look at different brands, I mean, show me a brand which I can't like pinpoint the points where it's similar to a different brand. I feel, it's be yourself, but also fit the market trends. People are looking to see similarities because people feel that it's familiar. It's important to be familiar. I'm not saying copy because that's not okay, but every market cycle, every trend cycle, you'll see similar things. I think like 2 years ago, the trend was for the websites to have like big words everywhere. And when you scroll, like almost every Web3 website had this. I'd say pixels for us fit this scenario, fit this trend right now. And also the reasons why we chose pixels was because it allows us to construct different logos for our products and platforms with the same feel. So if you go into Cookie3 Score, if you see this logo, if you see the Cookie3 affiliate logo, you'll see it's all like our pixels in a different way. And then I know right now we are using mostly the green, but if you go into the affiliate platform, you see it's got a yellow color, and then the analytics will be blue. So basically you'll see we're playing with different colors with the same style. To be fair, I don't see similarities with other brands that much. But I also know like we are willing to fit into the current trends, which I feel like everyone wants to fit into, what's trending.
But like, why did you guys rebrand, and how does it encompass as the new direction of Cookie3?
So we rebranded.
Or did you just want to be like on trend, let's say?
It's both, really. So we rebranded mostly because we came into this partnership with the DAO. So it's sort of, we wanted to, draw a line and say, we're still doing analytics, but we're doing these new things. We really wanted to show that there is more, because we've been on the market for 2 years and we've been known as the analytics company, slowly building our analytics. And then all of these other things were happening in the background. So we really wanted to get noticed. We wanted to show, look, there is more happening. We also decided like it's the time for the rebrand. We felt our old brand wasn't that fitting current trends, current market conditions. It was very B2B, but it wasn't fitting the retail narrative. And we wanted to open to KOLs, and we did very successfully. We wanted to open to retail, and we did very successfully. And we felt our branding was needed to fit their tastes, to show that we're building something new. But at the same time, also you'll see our pixelated logo is very similar to the logo that we had before. So sort of combine the old with the new, but show that there will be more happening. We're opening to the new audiences. It's sort of marking this, MarketingFi Cookie3 revolution.
Something else I wanted to know is that this was actually a question that we got from the audience. What's the overall market situation for MarketingFi in Web3? And is Cookie3 MarketingFi a new concept? I know you told me you have a nice story here, so I really wanted to ask this.
Yes. So MarketingFi in itself, for me, is not a new concept. For me, MarketingFi is already here. I think from the end of last year and this year, like what's taking off really is quests like Galaxy, Zeely, Quest, and all of these quests are really, really, really taking over. But then, like I said, they aren't rewarding conversion. So MarketingFi is sort of Web3 marketing where you incorporate AI, where you incorporate rewards, where other done in Web2 marketing, where is very standard marketing. Web3, because it's an ownership economy, because you give rewards to users for conversion, like that's the DeFi, that's the financial aspect of rewards. But how we are taking MarketingFi to the next level is, first of all, incorporating AI to score users, determine bots, give them the on and off chain scoring, like I said, with the score platform, and make sure like users really, really convert. And the way I see MarketingFi, so in Web2, I envision Web2 marketing as like a long table. On one side, you've got businesses. On the other side, you've got customers. And it's like market them, buy products, convert. And it's like sort of like ping pong even, or tennis. And then Web3 MarketingFi is sort of a round table, because Web3, and I think it's been said so many times about all Web3 leaders, like it changes the way we think about the economy, because it's ownership economy. If you own a token or you own an NFT of a project, like you're sort of the co-owner of this project, you're invested in it. So for you, you're not just a customer, you're a co-owner. You want it to perform well, because this project's performing well also means like, returns for you. So MarketingFi leverages this ownership economy. And rather than being on the two sides of the table, you sit together and you come up with strategies together to promote the project. So as an invested community member, I don't want, like, let's say I hold a token of some project. I don't want this project wasting marketing budgets on, campaigns that are going to target people who are going to dump the token or are not going to convert, because it disadvantages me at the end. That's why MarketingFi also brings consumers into the business, brings retail into the business of marketing, and rewards them and prompts them to actually be the advocates, to be sort of the micro influencers in their own circles. Because if I'm invested in the project and I convince my friends or coworkers that this project is cool, they're going to convert way more than if I drop these tokens and just spend it on ads or ineffective targeting. And then, as I said, KOLs also come into play, but KOLs that grant conversion. So again, like I said, an affiliate is based on our analytics and AI to make sure these KOLs also become sort of advocates for the brand. And it's all, this round table where everyone benefits and sort of creates more and more value, like perpetuum mobile, I'd say. I mean, let's see, but hopefully, fingers crossed. And then how Cookie3 caters to it is what I said. So the way I think about this, I think MarketingFi is this, like, let's say, like some magnificent country or magnificent portal where everyone sits at this one table, and then everyone's got their own portal, their own path that they come to it. So businesses and projects, they come to Cookie3 affiliate. Influencers and KOLs come through the analytics, the first one. Influencers and KOLs come through Cookie3 affiliate, and then users come through Cookie3 score. So they each have their own path, their own portal, where they find stuff that's attractive to them, stuff that they want to interact with, to finally find themselves into this one ecosystem where they collaborate and create more and more value. I hope that answers the question.
Yes. One of my most important questions for you today, I mean, like, I do have like a lot of them, which I think it caters to a lot of us like marketers in the space. But something that's very important for me is to, and I know I asked Philip this as well, like, how do you guys play a role in educating Web2 marketers or Web3 marketers to understand and leverage Web3 data effectively, especially right now with this new expansion of products?
Yes, so we've got a number of use cases on our website, and we regularly host AMAs and sessions with Web3 and Web2 marketers to sort of discuss their tactics and, their success stories. Also, if someone is using our platform, they can always jump on a call with our business development team, and they will go through live data and help you with all the findings, help you see data that might be important and that may prompt some of your marketing decisions. So First of all, there is loads of educational material that we've got available on our website, on our social channels. We keep having different AMAs and meetups with other marketers. But also, once you're a user of the business analytics platform, you get unlimited one-on-one support with our business developers that know our platform inside out and are able to help you extract the data you might need.
What are some marketing strategies you've used to grow your database of KOLs and to get those 250 companies using you and launch your token? It's like 3 in 1 now, but...
Yes. So first of all, KOLs. So for KOLs, we actually didn't do any promotion of the platform at all. No ads, no announcements. So we made an announcement of the affiliate platform 1 month into since it was live. So we just use word of mouth marketing for it. We had a couple of KOLs who gave us feedback when we were building the platform. So they were already involved in it. And then we invited them to the platform. And then for the KOL onboarding, we had a referral system with the cookie airdrop inside the platform. So KOLs joined, they could invite our KOLs who had to be verified by our scoring algorithm as KOLs as well. And so on and so on. And the network just grew. So we had the 17K after the first month with no promotion other than, word of mouth. So people just sending themselves link. Like we didn't advertise it anywhere. We advertised it only once we had those KOLs in. And I think it worked great. So referrals were great in Web3 marketing in general. And this connected with word of mouth. And sort of that was because we didn't advertise it, it made it even more exciting because it wasn't like, you're seeing it plastered everywhere. You're seeing it advertised. You're finding about it from your friend. Like exclusivity always works.
Like a gem, no?
Yeah. Hidden gem. That's my advice to Web3 marketers. If you can, especially if you've got a product that's even sort of exclusive, onboard people, through the word of mouth. Do like pre-onboarding phase, make them feel exclusive, because these people are also going to be then the most engaged advocates for your brand because they were early and they know they were early. They know they got, let's say, special treatment because they were early, and they're going to stick with your brand and they're going to be your most engaged advocates. Like, I feel exclusivity is it's always been. I mean, maybe I'm biased because of my fashion background, because there is a lot of this marketing tactic used in fashion, but it really helps to bring people in and make them feel special. And in many ways, marketing is about making people feel special.
But do you think this tactic work for your branding or like for all these companies to work with you and for your token launch as well?
I think it really depends. Like I said, if you've got something exclusive that you can offer, if you've got, an initial community, then you can give them a white list or you can give them early access. That really works. But again, it doesn't work for everyone. So for the cookie token, the Cookie DAO is actually having a different approach because they didn't have the initial community. They had our community, but they just wanted, to share it and onboard as many people as possible. That's why they went with an open airdrop. But again, using our analytics just to onboard people that are actually going to use it. For us, for affiliate, it worked really great because we had something exclusive to offer the KOLs. And then I think you also asked about analytics. How did we get these 250 businesses using us? So, well, we had a couple of businesses using our alpha version and then the beta version. And then a lot of, so it was for recommendation. Then a lot of people actually converted from our case studies or educational spaces. We offer 1 free trial month. So a lot of companies came through the free trial. They saw the value because I myself believe we provide a lot of value. Like there isn't many solutions that provide the same thing. And they just converted through it. And obviously direct reach out whenever we see a new business. We have a great sales team that reaches out, that proposes a demo, that shares insights that shows where it could be valuable for this project, and we onboard them through it. But actually, for B2B, I think HubSpot is one of the greatest examples for me for like B2B marketing. I know they come from Web2, but they do B2B marketing extremely well. And I think it has also proven in our case very effective that use cases, educational materials, guides, webinars, these are the things that convert businesses. And it's worked really well for us as well.
I mean, like, I feel like a lot of people keep telling me that like Web3 is different, but at the same time, I feel like these Web3 people are also people coming from Web2 as well. So like, for sure, like they're also human beings and they react to like very similar tactics as well. Now that they, of course, they need to be adapted to like each situation. But I really like the fact that you mentioned that and you got inspiration from a Web2 project or like Web2 company. Something else I wanted to know from you, and probably I should have asked you, like when we were talking about KOLs, do you still like do you think they will still play a very big role in Web3 as the market matures? Because right now I feel like it's just a lot of hype with them many times. And I'm talking about like KOL rounds mostly, not like KOLs in general, because probably long live the new job, let's say, in both Web2 and Web3, at least from the way I see it.
Yes, so in my opinion, KOLs are definitely going to stick. Like, look at Web2. Like in Web2, media is being pushed away by KOLs more and more. Like KOLs, I'd say probably the largest advertising budgets are the KOLs budgets right now. KOLs convert in Web2, KOLs convert in Web3. As for the rounds, like I believe exactly like Cookie3 is doing it, that communities of these KOLs should have an in on the round, which we are doing with, the cookie token together with the cookie DAO. But I feel like, the KOL rounds are just, let's say, a different way of payment for KOL services, really. But then the incentive is the same. It's still promotion. So I think because of the nature, which is something I wanted to say about your remark earlier, that you said Web3 is different, but it's also similar to Web2. I think it's because there is, the element of tokens and investment. That's why it's different, because usually in Web2, you don't have this ownership economy. And this is what's different, because people are actually invested in projects. People are invested in NFTs. They're co-owners. And this part is different. But as you said, the part of, like, in our example, if you're a B2B service, that's quite similar to Web2 marketing. But spinning back to KOLs, I think they'll be relevant forever, and they'll get more and more relevant. Actually, I think we released this graphic on our socials last week or 2 weeks ago. We did like the KOL matrix, where we said, what KOLs are here in this space right now and who are the real KOLs that are going to stay. So in my opinion, educators that provide education and are actually, giving good recommendations are the ones that are going to stick. Similarly as in Web2. Like in Web2, I feel like the influencer market sort of has come to a steady. You've got the KOLs that are performing really well, that are creating engagement. In Web3, we're still finding out what KOL content is the one that actually converts. Like you say, a lot of it is built on hype, but we will find the ways that will make it more steady, and the KOLs approach will even out, but they will definitely not be gone. I think they'll be growing.
I'm actually going to be looking forward to that because it's a subject that interests me quite a lot. One of your products is airdrops, as mentioned, and it's a product coming out soon, if I remember correctly. How important do you think will be having real people in your community moving forward? And how does this compare to the big numbers that everybody's running right now, even right now? And one of the reasons why I'm asking this question is because, like, I get a lot of founders coming to me and tell me like, oh, we just want to get, like, I spoke to this agency and they gave me this prize for to get like this many community members and so on. And I tell them many times, like, it's a waste of your money. Obviously, it's going to be good to look in front of like potential investors, but at the same time, it's pretty damaging to your business if you ask me, because your engagement is going to be extremely low. No matter what you're going to be able to do, what you will want to do, it's not going to be engaging enough, or it's not going to get your numbers up. And those numbers will matter at some point, especially when you're trying to launch a token and you're trying to get to certain numbers. So that's why I wanted to know kind of how you see this situation. Like, I have an idea what you're going to say, but I really want to see your perspective.
Yes. So, it's sort of what I've already touched upon. Vanity metrics are important, and I understand why projects and businesses want to, let's name it like bluntly, buy followers, because that's essentially what you're doing. You're buying followers. So I understand. And like you said, it's important when you come to investors, when you come to centralized exchanges, when you're launching a token, like they are looking at it. It's a bit of a weird market. I think it's going to stabilize because everyone knows a lot of projects is buying followers, but everyone looks at these metrics, which is why like our analytics is important, because it lets you actually see whether this is real conversion or whether this is inflated. Well, hopefully in the future, investors look at and be like, what's your Cookie3 analytics like score? Let me see your analytics. That's like the perfect situation. And actually on this, do you know the project called Easy? So we've recently launched, before their TGE, we've launched like their live analytics site, where they are our client and they are using our analytics, and we put their analytics, so essentially what they are seeing on our backend, on a one pager online. So anyone coming in could see their live traction data and be like, okay, like this is not inflated, like there is actual volume there. There are actual users there. So I think that was pretty cool. But coming back to your question, I can understand why projects are doing it. But at the same time, like you said, it's not a very sustainable tactic, because either you have to keep spending money and buying this, or you'll have no engagement. And this is where, like you said, airdrops come into place. Like if you airdrop tokens to users who are not going to convert, again, you end up with maybe generating a lot of hype initially, but then everything dies, which in my opinion, that's why products like our airdrop shield or our score are important, because they help you in this conversion stage. They capture people with conversion potential and then help you convert them. And like I said before, in Web3, we're very much touching the attraction surface, but we're not getting down the funnel. Web3 needs to go down this funnel. Like it just needs to happen. And I know we're a new industry, so I feel we're getting there. And in a couple of years, we'll get there.
My next question is actually related to this. And what I want to know is that, or at least like what I want to say is that you guys have done an amazing job doing building your community. You have a pretty big one right now. What are some strategies you have used? Who are your community members, and what are some growth tactics you've used to grow the presence, to grow your presence in your Twitter spaces? So yeah, there were three questions. I can actually ask them again if you didn't get them.
I got them all perfectly. No worries. Yes. So we are actually building our community. There are a couple of things. So first of all, we already had a very engaged community, which wasn't that big before the rebranding, but it was there. It was an engaged community of people who've been with our projects for a really long time. So we utilized them. Second thing is the partnership with the Cookie DAO. So that was the group that emerged from our early community. They started building their community, and then we started building our joint community. And then there are a couple of things that I believe, obviously, I can guess why. I mean, pretty good guesstimate, but I can never say like why exactly this community member onboarded, because I don't sit in their head. But I feel there are a couple of things in play. First of all, we have a working product used by services. We've got KOLs backing us, so it's real numbers. Like, it's not the Cookie token released by CookieDAO. It's not some coin that is going to go away with no utility. It's got utility, which through the partnership is through our platforms, used by so many businesses, used by KOLs. So one thing I feel it's credibility is the fact that we've been on the market for 2 years. We've been through the bear market and we still keep going, that we aren't based solely on the market conditions or market trends, because marketing is going to be important no matter what. And we build on this marketing need. So we are relevant no matter the cycle time. And what was helpful, our airdrop, CookieDAO's airdrop that we are helping to run, was extremely effective in this. And then the campaign that we recently launched is also super effective. So we helped CookieDAO launch something called the ecosystem campaign. So we run this campaign with the Cookie3 ecosystem projects that basically are using our analytics, and we are able to reward their quality users with points for the cookie tokens, or for some even the guaranteed cookie token. So we sort of brought the communities of these projects to CookieDAO, which was really effective. Cross marketing is usually really effective, and because we only give points to people who are quality users of these projects, like we're making sure we're onboarding these quality potential members, like I've been going on about for this entire time. And then I know, Alexandra, we probably want to mention to your listeners that they will be able to mint this podcast as an NFT. And, you know, if you've reached it to 45 minutes now, almost an hour of listening, and you've just heard about this, that means you are a quality Web3 goer. You're not here for just the airdrops and just rewards. You want to learn. To me, that's quality. That's why if you mint this podcast, you're able to get extra cookie airdrop points. So be sure to head to cookie.community and collect them. You've made it this far. Get rewarded for your engagement and listening me go about marketing and Cookie3 for almost an hour now.
Yeah, so thank you so much for mentioning that. And definitely, if there's somebody that's still listening to this right now, they're definitely a high quality listener. Something else I wanted to know is like LinkedIn or Twitter, or like what was the best or the most efficient way for you to grow? Like what is the difference in which like you have grown your community in both platforms? Because I've known you guys for a while, and I know you've been present on both platforms. And what worked best in your opinion for your brand and community building?
Both, really, both Twitter and LinkedIn. So Twitter is our main platform because that's where the retail users are and KOLs are. And this is our, main goal right now is onboarding these users. And then after we've got them, we'll turn back to businesses again. But LinkedIn was amazing for business. And we sort of draw this line here that we are posting more business related stuff on LinkedIn, whereas more retail stuff on Twitter. If you've got two audiences like you've got businesses and then you've got users on the other side, you need to balance it out. We don't want to leave businesses hanging. So LinkedIn is for them. Like we don't expect our community members who are just retail users and don't work in Web3 go to our LinkedIn, because why? Most of them have different careers. Like Web3 is something they do for fun or something they do after hours as like an extra thing. Like it's not their career. Like their LinkedIn is probably, I don't know, with whatever they're doing, that's what their LinkedIn is about. So we don't want to spam it with Cookie3. We speak to them on Twitter, and on LinkedIn, we speak to businesses, which is, one of the most important part of our business as well. So because our new business model only works if we have retail users and businesses. So they have their own platform. And then I think there was a second part to your question, but I forgot.
I wanted to first of all ask, like, I'm not so sure you answered this question, and was regarding like who are the people in your community? Because you spoke so much about the growth, but like who are these people?
Exactly. So very big collection of people. So for businesses, easy, mostly marketers. For KOLs, Web3 KOLs, like different ones, NFT ones, like fundamentalists, like some education KOLs, YouTube KOLs, Twitter KOLs, Telegram KOLs. But then for the retail audience, I feel that's the beauty of the retail audience, that they are quite different people. Well, we've got our analytics, so I sort of have some insights about our community, but we will be actually releasing them, so I don't want to spoil it. But recently we released that our community on Ethereum makes 300 million monthly volume. But actually, the largest volume that our community makes is on Base. It's 7 billion monthly volume traded on Base. So I can say that our community are probably mostly Base users, but they're retail users. So they are people who do their own thing. Some of them are NFT goers. Mostly are a lot of people who are new in Web3. So we're helping them on board. A lot of people looking for new projects, especially because our ecosystem campaign now, and then the Score project, which will allow them to get rewarded for onboarding onto the new platform. So I'd say a lot of people in our community are also people who are looking for new products and new Web3 projects to onboard on. So some of them already know what they're doing. Some of them are still finding their space in Web3. And well, I hope Cookie3 will be the channel for them to find their Web3 route.
And what was the platform that worked best for you in terms of like community building and community and brand building? Was it LinkedIn? Was it Twitter? Was it a mix?
So, but mostly Twitter. I'd say LinkedIn definitely helped us with businesses, but with retail community, it was Twitter, and it was co-marketing with other projects within our ecosystem. And our ecosystem, when we launched and opened to the community, was already big because we had all of the businesses using our app. We're integrating with 16 chains. We've got over 1 billion wallets analyzed. And all of these wallets, providers, chains, business clients, like we all could do co-marketing with them. So we were already onboarding their communities, and we did it through Twitter. Obviously, we've run some campaigns like Galaxy or Zilly, but what was most effective was actually the Cookie airdrop, I think, and the Cookie community platform, through which we onboarded a lot of people into the Cookie DAO community. So we've set up this platform for Cookie DAO. It's our own built product. Like, it's not a platform that's already existing. It's built solely by us, and it helped us bring, I think, over 250,000 users. And then, we are giving them points accordingly for their conversion and using our algorithms on them. So actually, we're yet to see how many of them are, these top quality users when the airdrop comes. But looking at our preliminary numbers, they look healthy. That's what I can say.
I'm going to do a 2-in-1 right now. One of the question is, do you think incentivization is still going to be big in Web3, especially as the market matures, and especially in the context that you guys have launched a product of such? And the second part of the question is like, what are some best tips that you have for marketers that are trying to run campaigns right now?
I think it is going to be important. Like, even look at, again, Web2 marketing. You get incentivized with discounts or whatever. So I feel incentivization is going to stick with marketing. Well, my example, another very Web2 example, is I actually get this catering for my dogs. They have the best marketing ever. Like, I respond to all their emails. I take part in all of their giveaways, and it is incentivization. So it's one of my favorites marketing ever, their marketing, and it's based on incentivization. So I feel, yes, it's going to stay in Web3, but as market matures, it's going to change, which is also feel Cookie3 Score is going to be part of it. because it's going to change to actually incentivizing either people who are converted or people who are going to convert. Because right now I feel marketing in Web3 is, if you're like, you're taking your tokens and you're just like throwing them around. Whereas now you're going to be going and you're going to be giving rewards to the people who actually deserve it, and score is part of it.
And like, what are some best practices you can give to marketers that are trying, that will be using your products run some campaigns moving forward?
Be decided about who you want to convert. So do your research into your targeted audience and to your targeted persona. Plug into our analytics, and if you already have any users, look, what other tokens they're holding, what chains they're most active on, because it's going to help you target them the best. And then also in our analytics, you have something called On-Chain Explorer. So you can analyze audiences based on their behaviors based on tokens, analyze audiences and their behaviors based on conversions, and based on pairs of tokens that they're holding. So what you can actually do, if you've got any projects that are inspiring you, check their audiences through our Explorer, because then it will probably help you shape your tactic. You'll be like, okay, this project was effective because they did these things. This is their audience. This is how their audience is behaving. Find similarities with your audience, because maybe, let's say I can say, oh, I love this project. I want to run similar campaigns. And then I go and I'm like, yes, but I've got an entirely different audience. Like, this is not going to work for my audience. So know your audience, because you need to run a campaign for, first of all, the audience you have, and second of all, the audience you want to onboard. Inspiration, great. Get inspired, but do your research and get inspired by the right people and right projects.
What are some key areas or industries where you see the most potential for impact in the Web3 ecosystem?
I think...
Is it gaming? Is it... What do you feel?
Gaming's really taking off. Actually, one of our partners, GameSwift, they're doing really, really well. But I don't know if I can say right now. I feel, well, people are saying NFTs are there. But on the other hand, some NFTs projects are doing really, really well. And I think, right now we are in a very weird cycle. We just had this spike in the bull market, and market is behaving a bit crazy right now, which is also good. Like, for me, it indicates the altcoin season's coming. So I feel new tokens emerging right now, and new altcoins are going to be a big hit and a big hype. And I'd say definitely we are right now in something what we call airdrop summer. So we had DeFi summer, and now we're in airdrop summer because everyone's doing airdrops right now. So I think this is going also to stabilize, and also, stop throwing it around at everyone, but more giving it to people who actually deserve it. So I feel right now everyone's getting crazy about new coins. And then we'll see what's next. But I think for the next couple of months, it's new altcoins coming to the market that is going to be keeping people excited.
We're definitely going to keep an eye on that as well. One of the things that my audience keeps asking me absolutely everywhere I post, or every time I get to speak to them, they ask me about use cases and case studies, and to ask my speakers about it. So I want to ask you as well. Can you maybe give us some examples of companies using your products at the moment, and maybe how they've leveraged them to achieve their marketing goals? If you could give one example, two examples, multiple examples, that would be awesome. I think they definitely serve as inspiration for many of us.
Definitely. So I think one of my favorite case studies is the case study of our client Notum. You actually can find this case study on our blog. So they had a marketing budget. They weren't sure what's converting, what's not. So they onboarded onto our analytics system, and actually saw that a lot of users that they onboarded right now had, I think, less than $100 in their wallets, which wasn't the audience they were looking for, because it was very unlikely this audience is going to be performing transactions in their platform, is going to be working with them. So they reshifted the entire strategy. They dedicated almost a third of their whole marketing budgets to KOLs, and they actually found these KOLs were converting really good users. Then they tried some broadcasting strategy, which again didn't work well, but they were able to see it immediately and just cut these losses of users who don't convert. And then finally find a strategy that was converting more and more people. They didn't have to manually look at their wallets because our system does it for them. I think they cut the costs by 64% in the end, their marketing costs, just because they were looking at the analytics and they were able to see this tactic performs. This tactic's bringing us users, but it's bringing us empty numbers. And well, like we've been saying in this podcast, and empty numbers might be good sometimes, but in the long run, they actually damage your brand rather than help it. I think another good example, I can't remember what project it was, but you can also find a use case on our site, which is one of the projects using our analytics. They found that actually email is their best performing tool, which many people say email in Web3, email is dead. Like I check Telegram, I'd say about 150 times a day. I check email 1 or 2 times a day. So whereas I might say email is dead in Web3, for this client, it actually shows email is very much not dead. It brings the best conversion for them. So again, analytics, it helps you see where you should dedicate your marketing budgets rather than, putting it in what you think might be bringing you people, putting it where it actually brings like I said before, brings you the audience you want to have rather than the audience that's just there. And then the last example is, I feel, our own example of the Cookie airdrop platform that we've built for the Cookie DAO, where we've used our analytics for the ecosystem campaign to onboard people who are quality users of other ecosystems. Or we've also built this algorithm to check Twitter impressions and check whether these impressions are right, whether it's our quality impressions. So you'll see like Portal Coin and Block Games, they did a social farming campaign, which worked really well for them. But I feel that it brought a lot of like empty farming posts, which was just like farm Poltar, farm block, blah, 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 blah. And they were rewarding people for it. But is this the promotion you want to get? Like, what is someone finding out about their brand? So we added another layer of this social campaign for the Cookie airdrop, and we were actually analyzing the quality of the profiles tweeting, the quality of the tweets. And if there were like random farming posts, they would get no points. So we would basically, even like these users would get annoyed, but these are not the users we want to onboard. Quality users would see that they're being appreciated for the quality they're bringing. So I feel like this is one of the best examples of where we utilized everything we've been building for bringing quality audiences in.
I feel like there's like so much more to ask you and for you to share, but unfortunately we kind of have to wrap this up. But before we do so, I have a question for you that I'm asking everybody on the podcast. If you can give me an example of a tool or a resource you would recommend using, and that cannot be Cookie3. So anything else as a resource for learning would be awesome.
Damn it. I really wanted to say Cookie3. But to be fair, I think I need to give a shout out to, we aren't doing a campaign with them right now, but I think we will, to a company called Linko, because I think that what they're doing it very much in the MarketingFi fashion, because you're able to run the advertisements targeted at the users who you want to convert. So their wallets are being scored, and they're being scored and fit into categories. They get incentivized for watching the ads. So again, your ads are being shown to people who are likely to convert. So definitely a shout out for them. And then I think I already mentioned a Web2 tool called HubSpot, which I feel it's amazing for, well, first of all, as a tool, but second of all, for education. They've got a lot of really good like budget templates, content planning templates, courses that you can do. And for me, like I use them a lot and I get educated through them, and then I adapt it to Web3. But you know, if I'm stuck and if I'm like, oh, I don't know how to exactly run this campaign, I go to HubSpot because they're really good in you know, getting your head right together a topic. And then last thing, which I think is less for marketers, but more for PR. But I feel like in Web3, especially with startups and smaller teams, people who are in marketing are also doing PR, which is Macrack. I know it's a very expensive tool, but I think it's really useful in finding the right leads and right contacts, and figuring out how people want to be contacted, seeing what people are writing about, speaking about, building your profiles, building your list, and making sure that if you decide to reach out to someone about a collaboration, about an article, about a podcast, that you're actually reaching out the way they want to be contacted, that you know what they're doing, and you're not just shooting bullets at random, because then you're just going to waste your time and have little conversion. I think we spoke about this before we started recording this podcast. So yeah, everyone help Alexandra out so she's not bombarding with a lot of pitches that aren't relevant to her.
Well, thank you so much for your recommendations. Can you tell me, or can you tell us, where can people find you?
Yes, so for Cookie3, you can find us at cookie3.com, or on Twitter and LinkedIn, it's cookie3_com. We also have a page on CoinMarketCap, which is called just Cookie3, and Instagram, cookie3_official. As for me, you can find me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is Krystyna Kozak, and then you can also find me on LinkedIn. It's Krystyna Kozak-Kornacka. I'm sure you'll link it in the podcast, right? Because the spelling is quite difficult.
I was about to say that the links of both Cookie3 and where can people find you personally as well, they will be in the description of the episode. Don't forget, the episode will be minted. So I hope you will enjoy it and you will collect it. Krystyna, for now, thank you so much for your time. Maybe we'll do a live session as well, because in case there are still questions that we did not manage to touch on. But for now, thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you, everyone, for listening, and remember to mint the podcast and get your points. We want you as quality user.
Speak soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening to our Out of Ordinary podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and you would like to hear more content like this, then open up the podcast app and click on the follow or subscribe button. It takes less than 5 seconds and is the single best thing you can do to support the show and stay up to date to more marketing strategies that are being used in the Web3 space.